Hear that? Nothing? Me neither. But that's the perfect spot for your company's name to step into the spotlight. Become an underwriter for As You Mic It and let every episode be your curtain call. Slip a note to podcast@pashakespeare.org for more information.
Hello, friends, and welcome to As You Mic It, the Prologues, your handy pocket guide to Pennsylvania Shakespeare Festival's 2026 Legends and Legacy Summer Theater Series. I'm Connie Veringer, Associate Producer here at PSF, ready to set the stage before you take your seat. Our prologue is a quick companion episode designed to arm you with plot essentials, thematic touchpoints, and a few production gems so you can walk into Labuda feeling like an insider. Next up, the complete works of Jane Austen Abridged. It's a high-speed, high-spirited romp through the novels that made satire sharp and courtship complicated. Leading us through this whirlwind of matchmaking, manners, and mischief is our Director of Education and Community Engagement, Kim Carson.
Thanks, Connie. So Jane Austen wrote about 3,000 pages of some of the most complex, socially sharp, and romantic prose in the English language. It usually takes a miniseries about 6 hours just to get through Pride and Prejudice. So, how do you fit all 6 of her novels, Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Northanger Abbey, and Persuasion, into one 80-minute play? Well, you don't just act it, you sprint through it, right? And in this prologue, we're talking about the complete works of Jane Austen Abridged, co-written by Jessica Bedford, Catherine Macmillan, Charlotte Northeast, and Megan Winch. This play isn't just a tribute to Jane, it is a high-speed collision between Regency manners and modern comedy. It is a lesson in how to distill the essence of a genius without losing the heart of the story. Now, the plot of the abridged play isn't just the stories themselves, it's the chaos of trying to tell them. We start with the big 3 in the play, Pride and Prejudice. This shows up in a Elizabeth and Darcy dance. It's a battle of wits that all happens in about 5 minutes. Sense and Sensibility, a whirlwind of sisters crying and men disappearing. Emma, the matchmaker who fails, becomes a frantic series of missed connections. But then the play gets really creative, as if it wasn't already. To save time, the lesser-known works like Mansfield Park or Northanger Abbey and, of course, the Juvenilia are mashed together or performed in styles that Jane had never originally intended. Think Austen as a sports broadcast or a super fun ode to Dungeons and Dragons. The plot becomes a race against the clock to ensure that every heroine gets her happily ever after before the curtain falls. And in an abridged play, you don't necessarily have time for subtle character arcs, so you have to lean into the archetypes. So when you come and see this play, I want you to watch out for a few certain types of archetypes that appear. The first one is the heroines. We've got Elizabeth Bennet, we've got Anne Elliot, Eleanor Dashwood, and in this version, they are fast-talking, sharp-witted, and often exhausted by the men around them. We've got the Darcys. These are the brooding, wealthy, slightly rude leading men. And in the abridged format, brooding is usually signaled by this, a dramatic stare or a sigh, very stiff collar, those types of things. The third archetype is the mothers and the villains. I'm putting those together because these are real scene stealers, I think. Mrs. Bennet's nerves are dialed up to 11. Lady Catherine de Bourgh is played with as much height and condescension as a wig can possibly provide. But because there are only 3 actors playing dozens of roles, the character work involves these lightning-fast costume changes, a bonnet here, a top hat there, creating this really hilarious sense of, who am I now, right? So when you strip away 90% of the words, what is left of Jane Austen? And surprisingly, in this play, her most important themes still shine incredibly brightly. Here are a few things to think about when you come and see this play. I always like to think about the play. You go, well, what is it about? Okay, we get that part. Who are the characters? But what's the point, right? So let's talk about that for a minute. There are 3 themes that I want you to look out for when you're watching this play. And the first is the marriage market versus love. The play highlights the absurdity of 19th century economics. It's a high-stakes game where 4% and 10,000 a year are the only scores that matter. And then the enemies to lovers trope is very strong in this one. And then the second theme I want you to look out for is social performance. By making the play a performance about a performance, we see how much Austen's characters were trapped by etiquette. And then the third theme I want you to watch out for is the power of the letter. Even in a comedy, the letter from Darcy, for example, or from Captain Wentworth, remains a turning point. And it shows that even in the fast-paced world, the written word can be where truth lives. Now you might ask, is this kind of adaptation disrespectful to Jane Austen? And I have to say, I don't think so. As a real fan of Austen's work, I sort of think she would have loved it. Jane was a satirist. She loved to poke fun at the very things she wrote about. And by abridging her work, we're not saying that it's small. We're saying that it's universal. We laugh at the complete works of Jane Austen abridged because we recognize ourselves in the panic of a social blunder or in the thrill of that first impression. And we realize that whether it takes 600 pages or 6 minutes, the journey from I can't stand that man to I can't live without him is perhaps the greatest story ever told. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by the long version of life, remember Jane Austen abridged. Focus on the wit, find the heart, and never ever forget your bonnet. The complete works of Jane Austen abridged starts previews in the Schubert Theater on June 24th and runs through July 12th. You can call on our box office at 610-282-WILL. That's 610-282-9455.
Until next time, for all of us here at As You Mic It, I'm Connie Berenger, reminding you that wit, manners, and mischief make a most agreeable match. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at La Buddha. Thank you for listening to As You Mic It, a Pennsylvania Shakespeare Festival presentation recorded on the beautiful campus of DeSales University. Our music is by Cedric Lamar, with hosts Jason King-Jones, Kim Carson, and Connie Berenger. For more information on our summer theater series, giving opportunities, tickets, and more, visit pashakespeare.org. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you at La Buddha.
Legends, lovers, and timeless drama. It's all happening at PA Shakespeare Festival this summer. Join us for the Legends and Legacy season, celebrating our 35th anniversary. Subscriptions to the 2026 Summer Theater Series are on sale now. Get yours at pashakespeare.org.